Hey guys, Dan Hood here, Big DH2000. Now, Toddy made an excellent video at one time, but I can't for the life of me find it. And somebody asked me about this, so I'm going to quickly make another video. I'm going to bring you in close and watch. Okay. You got a slingshot like this, holes through it, You can put, rubber through it. Use a pair of forceps if you got them, a pair of needle nose pliers. I got a tiny pair of forceps. You can buy these on eBay for like $2-3. Just reach in the hole, you can pull the rubber through, or if you have, say, even though this is paracord, you can have tubes, feed them through, This Toddy had an excellent video. I wish I could find it, but sometimes it's just faster for me to quickly make another one. Okay, pull this right on through. Okay, now assuming this was, say, a normal tube, it's paracord, but it's normal tube, you can just pull it tight and wrap it 2 or 3 times and you're good to go. Okay, that's one way to do it. You can also make a paracord tab like that if you want. Okay, you see it's a paracord tab, and tie the same way. Okay, wrap and tuck. I'm just going to release it for now because the main one I want to make is another thing Toddy did. He just took a piece of paracord, roughly 8 to 9 inches long, depending on how big you make it. I'm going to make this one 10 just so it fits, okay? I would fine tune, let's go with 9, okay? So 9 inches here. You hold it open. I just use a plain old, I've got a butane lighter, okay? Just burn the paracord in half. Some people do all kinds of, oops, burned myself. Woohoo! That was exciting. That'll blister later. Then I bring them together like this. Okay. Once again, heat both ends. Okay. Once they get good and molten, the surprising thing is you can just push them together when they're still molten. I didn't get them molten enough. Let me give them just a touch more. I spent too long talking to you guys and not enough time getting them put back together. See, when they're nice and smoky, put them together. Just hold them together for a minute. Okay. Blow on them a bit. Now, if you're real nuts, you can touch them a little bit and make sure it's, you don't want it ugly, but I mean, let it sit, and it's still warm, so I'll let it sit for a minute. Okay. Clean up my paracord now. Usually what I suggest people do is when you make one, make another one at the same time. Okay, so you have 2 at the same time. That way they're exactly the same length. Or what I do is I just make 4 or 5 at the same time. I find the 2 that are the closest to the same length. I try to pair them all up. Now see, now you've got this, okay? I usually put the joint at the bottom, okay? Just take your slingshot, push the loop of paracord through, okay? Now you've got it halfway through. I take the side that has the joint in it. You can see it right here, okay? Put it up and over. Now, the secret then is I pull the other one through because I make sure that the loop I just put over is below the hole coming through. You see? You'll get practice at it. And you just pull this this loop tight, and now you've got a tab. You got a paracord tab on this, okay? And you see the reason I put it around this way is if you look, that bubble you made fits nicely in the hole, and when you pull it tight, it pushes against the paracord and everything, and it kind of locks the whole thing in. Now, what I've always told people is make your tabs long enough so they stick out a little bit past the slingshot, so that all the slingshot wear goes onto the tab. And then the rubber, you just loop the rubber through here and pull back and you're good to go. This is how I do it. You can also, you know, some people say, well, you know, you can already attach your rubber to this. It's a little more challenging because you might have to slide the rubber down to the side because this bump quite frequently won't fit through the hole. Okay. But see, let's assume, let me just quickly show you. I'll put a pair of forceps on the end of this we'll pretend they're the tube. Okay. So I can never take the forceps loose. I've got the tube loose, but see, I can still mount this. Okay. Then what you do is, now see, with tubes, you'd have flexibility. So if it was bendable, you could bend it and you could force, I'm going to take this off. I'm not going to let go of it. But if the tubes were here, I just push the pouch through the hole and then pull the whole paracord through. Now, it does make it a bit messy. Now, see, this one, I've hidden the circle inside. Okay, you know, I call it the bubble. I've hidden it inside, so it's inside. But you notice I could do it with the tubes still attached. Okay? But what I always tell people to do is attach the tubes after you put the paracord tab on. Because personally, I like the way the joint sits tight in the hole and goes. But anyway, that's the best way. Toddy had a great idea, and I really like it. And I think that's pretty much the best way to put tubes on any kind of shooter like this. Just because HDPE is so slippery, tying the actual tube on a slingshot and all that, it gets to be pretty messy pretty quick. Whereas tying it on paracord, you know, the slingshot can just dangle there, and you can put the paracord in your pouch tying jig and go with that. Whereas it's awfully hard to get a slingshot in that jig sometimes. Anyway, guys, just a fun video. There was somebody that asked me a couple of questions. That's why I made this video. The rest of you, feel free to enjoy it.